So hello and welcome back to the FPL Talk channel, and today we're bringing you the Game Week 2 review. Now, quite a lot of people scored a lot higher in this week than they did last week due to some very good performers. And first of all, we're going to take a look at the top transferred players in and out for this week, and then we're going to get into my team and how well we actually did. But starting off, you can see that the most transferred in player this week so far is Martinelli, which goes without saying. He started off at 6 million, which was a bargain, and I've had him since the start, and he's just been performing ever since. I think it's 2 goals now for him, which is just great, and many people obviously getting on the hype wagon of him, looking like he's the most nailed on, going to keep Smith Rowe out the team, and if he keeps playing like this, there's no reason why Arteta would start Smith Rowe instead, and he's the best Arsenal attacker for value, I think. Yes, Saka's 8 million, but that's 2 million that you can save is just brilliant. And then we've got Rodrigo for Leeds. I'm pretty sure Leeds snuck quite a lot under the radar. A lot of people didn't really think the Leeds would do well, looking from an outside's perspective, because they sold Rafinha and Phillips, whereas actually they did some really smart business and brought in some good players. But Rodrigo started the season really strongly, and I think he's gone to 6.1 million. He might go to 6.2 now, but he's been playing really well, picked up a few goals. And then, of course, we have Gabriel Jesus. We'll speak about him later. Went on an absolute haul and just absolutely battered Leicester single-handedly, really, getting 2 goals and 2 assists in the end, which was just brilliant. And if you had him in your team, I know so many, if you look at our last game week review, so many people actually transferred him out after the first week and they were just too reactive. And now they've just lost out on all them points and it must be frustrating. De Silva there, I'll let you into a secret, right? I was actually going to put De Silva in my game week 1 team on the bench, and because I knew with Eriksen leaving, they needed someone to fill in with that creativity role, but originally didn't start, but he's putting some really good performances, and he's gone up to 4.6 million, I think. That could increase again, I don't know, but he's around that mark, and he's a really good one, but I wouldn't take the gamble too soon, just because we know his price is that for a reason, and he would be higher if he was more reliable, so that's one I'd watch out for. And then Tony, a lot of people bringing in Tony. I think this is because, yes, they played well versus Man United, but if you actually look at Brentford's fixtures, they go really, really nice now, and they could get a lot of returns in the next 6 game weeks, I would say, just because their fixtures, again, they've got a lot of green ones coming up, so they could be a team to watch. Now then, we've got Darwin Núñez as the most transferred out player, and, you know, like 25% or something owned him last week. What was he doing? Anderson was just bullying him the whole game, and honestly, he just had enough, and now he's out for 3 game weeks. It's just, honestly, I know he's new to the Prem, but you've got to just know how to control your anger. And on your Anfield debut, it's now going to be remembered with that moment. So it's certainly not ideal for you, let's be honest. And then Coutinho, Cash, Bailey, the 3 Aston Villa assets getting transferred out there. I think a lot of people thought Aston Villa assets would do well. Now, I originally wanted to go with an Aston Villa defender for a bit of a differential, but I didn't, just because I knew their defensive record wasn't very good. And also Diego Carlos has actually just got injured, and he's out for months, which isn't good because now they've got to revert back to Konsa and Mings. But people not satisfied with Aston Villa results, and I've still got Bailey, and I just don't know what to do with him, to be honest. There's no one really, unless I do drop to De Silva, which, you know, isn't the greatest. It's not very reliable, is it? I don't really want to start De Silva week in, week out. It's a tough one. And then Marcus Rashford, United really not starting well. Everyone was really hyped for them after pre-season and thought Ten Hag might have changed things, but he's got the same set of players, really. The board haven't backed him enough, and you can see it in the results. They're just not playing very well. Rashford even had a few chances in game week 1 and didn't score, and then in game week 2, he wasn't really in the game, let's be honest, and United just look like they're going to struggle, and with Liverpool next, I would not want to hold Man United assets at all. But as you can see in the bottom there, we're on a total of 141 points overall, and then now we're 741,000th in the world, which is a solid start, I would say. That's obviously going to improve hopefully over the next few weeks, and there's 9 million players in FPL, and as you can see at the bottom there, I got 74 points. So we're going to go take a look at my team now and how we did, and I'll run you through each player. So let's go and take a look at it now. So here is the team. Starting off, we have Ramsdale in goal, who managed to only get me 1 point. Obviously, they had that amazing game versus Leicester, where he did look a bit shaky. He wasn't the best in that game, but obviously the goalkeepers aren't going to be good every game, and Arsenal still won. And I mean, for a player we're going to speak about later, which you can clearly see on your screen, I'll take the 1 point from Ramsdale as a sacrifice for that. Then we have Trent Alexander-Arnold, who somehow got a bonus point. I honestly don't know how. Liverpool did well to get a point out of that game, but again, Nunes just ruined the game for them. They should have won it, and him getting sent off just really didn't help their cause at all. And Liverpool still yet to get a clean sheet. Trent Alexander-Arnold only picking up, what is that, 4 points in total in FPL over 2 game weeks, which is very rare for him. Then we have Cancelo, an absolute star man. What a hero, 11 points, getting an assist in that game as well. And we had the Man City double up. Kyle Walker also getting me 6 points there. The Man City assets really coming in clutch. I really do like the look of that Man City double up. It's very solid. However, they have just signed that Gomez, I think it is. It might be, who's a Spanish player from Anderlecht, I believe. And honestly, if he comes in and offers them some rotational risk, I will not be a happy chappy at all. But the also other thing about the defenders is that James and Cucurella could be a nice defensive double up if you want to go for that, because Cucurella does look quite nailed on, but I don't really want to go for him yet, just because as you could see, Chilwell was benched at the weekend. But I do think Cucurella will pick up more of the left centre-back position, so again, we'll have to wait and see what Tuchel's planning, and if he does, then I might look at bringing him in and maybe going 5 at the back, or if Walker rotational risk comes into play, because he plays Cancelo right back and Gomez left back some games, then I may have to look at that, because let's be honest, I do not want to be a victim of Pep Roulette, that is for sure. Then Mo Salah, the biggest disappointment, the captain with 4 points. I was very confident, right? I saw Haaland getting 5 points and people captaining, so he got 10. I was thinking, wow, only 1 assist for Haaland. Salah at home, Crystal Palace, Anfield, first game of the season. He's going to get me quite a few returns here. Turns out, no, he didn't. And then, you know, Luis Diaz ended up scoring the goal and getting me 9 points with 3 bonus, which, what a hero. I really did need that this game week, but Salah just disappointed me, to be honest. But obviously, we're not going to get rid of him because he is literally the king of FPL. Then Martinelli returning once again. Arsenal looking really, really strong. And Martinelli just loves to give me points. And if you didn't have him in from the start, I do feel for you, but you can still get him in now for a very nice price. And then we spoke about the Aston Villa assets earlier today. Leon Bailey really letting the crew down. Everyone who's had him has struggled. Dropped after 1 game week, and with Villa winning last game, it looks hard to put him back in the starting 11, let's be honest. That is a bit ropey. And Aït-Nouri on my bench there, I originally did have in the starting 11, and I dropped him out because, you know, Gerrard said in his press conference on Friday he was looking really sharp, and it was 1 game, so not to think too much of it. So I thought, oh, Bailey might start and get a few good points here. He didn't, and then Aït-Nouri, of course, gave away a penalty, which you don't get minus points for, and Mitrovic missed it, so he still got a clean sheet, which is an absolute scam, and I'm not happy with. I'm not happy with at all. And then Gabriel Jesus, who, if you transferred him out the first week, honestly, I'm just going to say it, what on earth are you doing? What on earth are you doing? Because second week, you've got to stick with him. If you watch the Crystal Palace game first game week, you will have seen how incredibly he played, and it's just shown evidently in game week 2 how good he actually can be. And this Arsenal project, as much as people like to mock it, is actually looking really, really good, so it could be a thing of beauty. But that 4th position in the Premier League, it really is going to be between Chelsea, Spurs and Arsenal, and it's going to be really, really tight between them going into the end of the season, so that is something to watch. And then finally we have Haaland, who only completed 2 passes all game, which was a kickoff and his assist to Gundogan. I mean, if he's getting a return for the FPL, we don't care, but only 2 passes for Bournemouth is interesting, and his amount of touches was so much lower than in the first game week versus West Ham. I mean, against West Ham, we literally just sat off on our own box and let Man City play like it was a training drill. They were just mocking it, to be honest. I mean, at least Bournemouth came with a bit more fight, but I feel like Haaland is still a superior option than Kane. And of course Kane scored versus Chelsea. He just had to, as everyone transferred him out. He would score, wouldn't he? It's not even fair, that. But overall, you know, 74 points. I'll definitely take that. On the bench, we did have Ward as well with 1. Obviously, Ramsdale and Ward getting the same amount of points. And Pereira's got a knock. He should be okay, and he better be okay, all right? Because he's the perfect bench asset to have, so he can't let me down there. But that is my Game Week 2 team. Let me know in the comments how many points you got, and let's see who got the highest points. So that is today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. Later this week, we're going to look at the best players to transfer in for Game Week 3 and who you should go for because of the best performers from this week. And then we're going to have the Game Week 3 preview most likely on Friday so that you're able to see my team going into the game week and maybe make adjustments on your team based on mine. But if you have enjoyed, leave a like on the video. It really, really does help me out. And subscribe if you are new. It literally takes you a second. And as I said, it really does help me out. But without further ado, I will see you in the next one.